Welcome back, everybody. It is 7:47 here on Morning Live. The SABC will now be hosting the announcement of the Matric results for the foreseeable future. The public broadcaster also offers a bursary to a deserving student to further their studies. The SABC also has a partnership with the Basic Education Department whereby matriculants can register to get their results on their phone. And to tell us more, I'm joined by Iris Cupido, the CEO of the SABC Foundation. A very good morning to you, Iris. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Now, talk to us more about the SABC once again hosting the Matric results announcement. How does that work?
Well, we used to host it previously, and then it was moved to Voter World, and we just felt that it's such an important program on our calendar as the SABC, so it'll be great to have it back in the building. So with intense negotiations with the Department of Basic Education this past year, they've agreed to now bring it back. So we will now be hosting it again at the SABC this year, which is wonderful.
Talk us through the process. How does it work?
Well, the Department of Basic Education can choose wherever they would like to host the event. They could take it to anybody because the broadcast is something that the SABC would do regardless of where it is. But I just think that particularly for the SABC Foundation, the partnership is an important one. Our bursary program is a very robust bursary program, and the fact that we are one of the major sponsors of this event by giving a bursary program that is of very high value to a deserving student, I just felt the fit would is a great one for us to partner with them, and for us to be able to have it in our building, to be able to host the Department of Education again would be important for us.
We also understand the SABC will award a bursary to a deserving student. What's the criteria for that, and who really is a deserving student?
Well, there are different quintiles of the students that would qualify or become in the top students, and some of those students are from no fee paying schools, which means that their circumstances are such that they go to a school where they don't pay fees, so their economic situation is dire, and yet still they manage to achieve extraordinary results and become one of the top learners in the country. So that's how we would choose who that child is. So we're saying that we would give a bursary to a child that has done really, really well, that otherwise would not have been able to go to university because their parents simply wouldn't be able to afford it. And we would take care of the entire bursary. So no matter what they want to study, anywhere in South Africa, the SABC Foundation would sponsor, would give a bursary. And we've been doing this with the Department of Basic Education for some years now.
So how many learners are you looking to award a bursary?
We give one bursary to the Department of Basic Education this year, but we have a bursary program of some 60 learners. We award bursaries for a 3-year program, but we have bursaries students all over the country studying various levels of study, and the way we choose them, as I say, the way we find them is to find those remarkable kids that have done extraordinary, have achieved extraordinary results with very little resources. Some of our bursary students that we have on the Eastern Cape, for instance, Hlumelo is doing so well, and we found him as well through the Department of Basic Education. He's now in his 3rd year, and he's just really doing exceptionally well. So there are some students that would never have been able to have been given this opportunity, because we do believe that if you reach just one child, and that child can change that community, and in so doing change their family and their circumstances, we can make a huge difference.
So how can matriculants register to get their results on the results service?
my colleague Elijah really knows more about that from the Department of Basic Education. I'm not too au fait with that. I know he was supposed to join me this morning for the interview and he was unable to. So I actually am not too familiar with how that works. That's really not my area. It's the Department of Basic Education's area.
Okay, fair enough.
But
now, on which
SABC that you've got, yeah.
On which SABC platforms will the Matric announcement be made?
Yeah. On SABC2 live tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. And, matriculants, you've only got one more day to wait. You will know tomorrow, or certainly most of you will know by the 5th, how well you've done. So just hang in there and we trust that you've done well. But even if you haven't, you have a chance to do it again.
And what would you be doing on Friday, this coming Friday the 5th, about the particular broadcast?
Well, our broadcast is tomorrow night, so we're hosting all day tomorrow. We'll be hosting the top achievers with the Department of Basic Education. We have the top achievers, the learners and their parents for breakfast tomorrow morning, very early, and they will then know for the first time that they actually are the top achievers, because right now they actually are unaware why we flying everybody to Joburg, why the Department of Basic Education is taking such good care of them. But they will know tomorrow when we make the announcements to them directly. We then go into a technical day for the evening's broadcast, which will happen tomorrow night at 6, and then that will happen live from our M1 studios in Johannesburg tomorrow night. So really, it's such an exciting time, and it's so amazing for us to just spend time with those top achievers and just see how much they've achieved oftentimes with so very little.
All right, Iris, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
For me personally.
All right. Nevertheless, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
I just think. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, that was Iris Cupido, the CEO of the SABC Education, telling us more about the Matric results. And as you heard, it'll be live tomorrow on SABC2 from 6 p.m. And what you need to do, the learner needs to send an SMS to 35658. 35658. Now, the SMS, it's actually written on the bottom of your screens. The SMS will consist of the ID number and the student number. And now the system verifies the ID number and the exam number. Both numbers must have 13 digits, in order to be accepted. And the ID number will also be subjected to an algorithm that identifies if the ID number is indeed a valid South African number. Make sure you do that. All right, 2017 was really a